4.3 billion people live across this vast continent called Asia, and we are telling their stories. On this edition, Learning in a Box. Children of migrant workers in Thailand are getting an education inside shipping containers. Overworked, underpaid. Foreign laborers in Israel endure poor living and working conditions. And behind the lens. How photography changed the life of a Filipino domestic helper in Hong Kong and helped her give a voice to her fellow migrant workers. I'm Martin Lowe, and this is Assignment Asia. Welcome to the show. On this episode, we tell stories of migrants, people who left their homes and countries behind, hoping for a better life. Thailand has many of them, around 3 million workers and their children, mostly from neighboring countries. Without legal documents, many children of workers don't have access to education and are at risk of abuse and exploitation. But I discovered a worker camp in Bangkok where children are getting a chance at learning inside a box. We're in Thailand, but this is very much a Cambodian household. It's breakfast time for Chia, who's nearly 4 years old, and her 5-year-old friend Yasa. It's early, but Chia's father's already left for work at a construction site in Bangkok. Mom looks after the children, but later she too has to work. Chia speaks Cambodian, but she's never been to Cambodia. She was born in Thailand, but she can't speak Thai. It's the kind of thing that's common for the children of migrant workers, and one of the reasons why they find it so hard to integrate in the countries where their parents work. Thailand's home to between 2 and 3 million foreign workers. They mostly come from Cambodia, Laos and Myanmar, often bringing their children because it's better than leaving them at home with relatives. At this site, workers and their families live in metal shipping containers, subdivided into tiny rooms, just 3 meters by 4 families to a container. Worker camps like these are self-contained migrant communities. Very few Thai people come here. So migrant children have little or no contact with Thais, making it virtually impossible to pick up the Thai language or knowledge of the country in which they can live for many years. But here they're trying to change that. One of those shipping containers, which once carried machine parts across the world's oceans, has been converted into a classroom to give the children a basic education. It's the only construction site in Thailand to have its own school in a box. Less than a third of migrant workers enroll their children in school in Thailand because they move from job to job and because those working illegally lack the proper documents for themselves and their families. But there's another obstacle. Although foreign children can go to Thai schools, they must first be able to speak the Thai language. Yet they can't learn the language until they go to school. It's catch-22.
ก็เหตุผลที่1เนาะเวลาเข้าโรงเรียนของประเทศไทยเนี่ยเด็กต้องได้รับขั้นพื้นฐานเลยต้องพูดไทยได้เขียนไทยได้ฟังไทยได้แล้วก็ที่สำคัญคือต้องสื่อสารได้อันนี้เพราะเหตุผลคือหลักสูตรของประเทศไทยเนี่ยยังไม่ได้เป็นหลักสูตรของเจ้าของแต่ละประเทศเพราะนั้นหลักสูตรในการเรียนเนี่ยก็ยังเป็นหลักสูตรของไทยอยู่
There's usually 20 or so in a class at any one time. Ages range from 1 to 17 years. The school doesn't follow the standard Thai curriculum, but it does take care of the children and tries to provide some structure to their lives.
เด็กก็ถูกปล่อยอยู่ในห้องบางทีก็ถูกขังอยู่กับครอบครัวที่พ่อแม่ไปแต่เช้าตี 5เนี่ยเด็กก็อยู่ในห้องบางคนก็ปล่อยเล่นมาข้างนอกเล่นปีนป่ายอะไรในแคมป์นี่แหละเล่นตามภาษาเขานะงั้นอันตรายมันเกิดขึ้นกับเขาแน่นอนส่วนหนึ่ง บางคนก็ถูกอยู่ในห้องการเล่นฟืนไฟฟ้า
Children are taught the Thai language, how to count in Thai, how to read and write their names.
ที่มันอยู่เมืองไทยอ่ะมันอ่านภาษาไทยได้ที่มันเอาตัวรอดได้เวลาแบบเราไปทำอะไรทำงานอะไรประมาณนี้
The teachers' salary, books and the children's food are paid for by charities and migrant organisations. Along with providing the container for the classroom, the construction company provides free water and electricity.
การให้การศึกษากับเด็กเนี่ยคือการทำบุญนะครับแล้วก็ทำให้สังคมมันดีขึ้นก็อยากจะเชิญชวนเพื่อนๆในวงการก่อสร้างนะครับไทยนะครับหรือต่างประเทศก็ได้นะครับไม่จำเป็นจะต้องประเทศไทยนะครับ
Thailand, like other countries in the region, is a place where some children are ripe for exploitation. So in addition to the basics, children are also learning valuable lessons in protecting themselves.
ขอทักษะเรารู้แล้วว่าเนี่ยคนภายนอกมาอย่างนี้นะเขาไม่ได้ใจดีเหมือนครูนะเขาเป็นอย่างนี้ภัยเป็นอย่างนี้นะมีคนพาไปข้างนอกไปแล้วก็จะพาไปหลอกลวงพาไปขายแรงงานการที่พาเขาไปสัมผัสการที่สอนให้เขารู้แล้วเขาเห็นนะเขาจะใจจำแล้วก็ถ้าเป็นเด็กผู้หญิงก็อย่างนี้ไม่ควรไว้ใจนะผู้ชายเป็นอย่างนี้ที่ความเป็นห่วงก็คือว่าถ้าเด็กผู้หญิงเล่นอยู่ในห้องแล้วก็บางคนไม่ไปทำงานการที่เด็กจะถูกละเมิดถูกลอกลวงมันสูงแต่สิ่งหนึ่งที่น่ากลัวเลยก็คือนี่แหละเด็กหลายคนมันถูกชักจูงง่าย
Getting the message home to migrant workers that their children can obtain an education is seen as a priority.
โอกาสที่เขาจะสุ่มเสี่ยงกันไปเป็นแรงงานเด็กก่อนวัยอันควรก็จะมีสูงเราอาจจะต้องทำงานเพื่อเข้าถึงกลุ่มเด็กเหล่านี้เพื่อเปิดโอกาสให้เขาสามารถเข้าเรียนในระบบโรงเรียนของรัฐหรือว่าเรียนตามศูนย์โรงเรียนต่างๆต้องทำให้เขาเข้าใจ
Foreign workers make a major contribution to Thailand's economy. Migrant support groups say providing education not only benefits the children, but in the long term, the country as well. According to an independent group, the Task Force on ASEAN Migrant Workers, foreign labourers contribute as much as $2 billion each year to the Thai economy. As many of these children grow, they in turn will enter the workplace in Thailand as migrant workers. And those better adjusted will earn higher wages and prove a valuable resource in their adopted home. Those working with migrant children are trying to expand this type of program.
อันนี้เราก็พยายามจะทำงานกับบริษัทนะเพราะเป็นเรื่องของ CSR อันที่2ผู้รับเหมากับโฟร์แมนจะได้เพราะคนงานไม่ย้ายบ่อยคนงานจะย้ายก็ต่อเมื่อหมายถึงว่างดงานจริงๆเพราะว่าถ้าจะสมัยก่อนเนี่ยเขาจะย้ายกัน3 เดือน 5 เดือนย้ายแต่ตรงถ้าลูกเรียนเนี่ยเขาจะเอาเรื่องการศึกษาสำหรับลูกไว้ก่อน
An option that's being explored is to begin similar teaching projects in neighbouring countries to support migrant worker families.
เราฝันเลยค่ะจริงๆเราอยากทำงานต้นทางตอนนี้เรามีข้อเสนอก็คือว่าเราอยากให้ INGO คือ INGO หรือ NGO ในประเทศต้นทางของเขานะคะดูแลเด็กกลุ่มนี้คือพ่อแม่มาทำงานแต่มีโรงเรียนประจำหรือมีองค์กรประจำที่ให้เด็กเหล่านี้ได้เรียนหนังสืออันนี้คือความฝันของพวกเราเลยนะคะคนทำงานเพราะเรารู้ว่าการที่เขามาอยู่ที่นี่1เขาจะสับสนเรื่องความเป็นพลเมืองเขาเป็นพลเมืองภาคไหนกันแน่นะคะอันที่2มันจะมีเรื่องของการปรับตัวนะคะอันที่3มันเป็นเรื่องของวัฒนธรรมที่ถูกทำลายนะคะตรงนี้ซึ่งเป็นสิ่งที่เราอยากได้
Back at the school in a box, Chia and Yasa are keen to learn. Migrant children appear much more enthusiastic than many.
ก็ดีที่สอนภาษาไทยและก็สารภาไทยเนี่ยนะลูกเราก็เป็นเขมรเนาะให้มันรู้เรื่องภาษาไทยมั่งไม่อยู่เมืองไทยอ่ะ
Without education, migrant children lead isolated lives and can fall victim to trafficking and exploitation. With education, it's claimed they become better citizens and contribute more to the host economy. The company behind the school says it's committed to carrying on with the scheme. The construction project has now moved to a new site, but so too has the school in a box, and is continuing to provide education to workers' children. Next on Assignment Asia, the plight of Israel's migrant workers and how a group is helping them fight for their rights. Life is never easy for migrant workers who had to leave their loved ones at home and travel far in search of opportunities. But some foreign workers in Israel face more than that, living in squalor and not getting the compensation and benefits due to them. Stephanie Fried investigated the conditions of some workers where labour laws are in place but don't seem to be well enforced.
Number 14. Somebody from Nepal that can help her fill the paper?
Sunday morning at the Tel Aviv drop-in clinic of the Workers' Hotline Organization.
Rina Julie Rodriguez, number 17.
5 days a week, this is where Israel's foreign workers can go for help. Standing room only is the norm. When not in their office, members of the group are in places like this, an isolated migrant worker trailer camp half an hour's drive from the capital, listening to complaints about labor law violations. These people are the backbone of Israel's agriculture industry, 25,000 migrants who plant, pick, cultivate, and irrigate the country's cash crops. They forked over thousands of dollars in illegal brokerage fees for a 5-year visa and employment. They are also underpaid, earning an average $1,000 per month, not receiving pensions or vacation time, overworked and exhausted. 30-year-old Sadayut came here from Thailand 4 years ago after his family scraped together the illegal $10,000 brokerage fee. It took him 2 years to pay it off. Sadayut supports 7 relatives back home, including his 6-month-old son, on below minimum wage earnings that average out to $1,000 a month. During high season, 14-hour days and 7-day work weeks are the norm. Temperatures inside ventilationless hothouses soar to 50 degrees Celsius in the summer. Sadayut recalls the day he blacked out from the heat.
ปกติเนี่ยถ้าลูกน้องทำงานให้กับนายจ้างไม่ได้จะไม่มีเงินค่าแรงถึงจะป่วยก็ช่างจะมีใบรับรองแพทย์ก็ช่างจะไม่มีเงินทดแทนส่วนนี้ครับพี่แต่ถึงจะป่วยถ้าเราทำงานเราก็มีเงินในเมื่อเราทำงานเต็มที่คือช่วงที่ร้อนสุดๆอาจจะบ่าย 2 ถึงบ่าย 3 โมงอีกแป๊บเดียวเราก็พ้นช่วงที่มันร้อนสุดๆไปเราก็น่าจะโอเคสำหรับร่างกายที่จะปรับขึ้นมาใหม่ได้ผมถ้ามีจริงๆนะพี่ผมจะบอกลูกบอกหลานผมว่าอย่ามาเลยทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างคือโกงกันหมดเอาความในใจเลยนะพี่ไม่อยากให้มาไปประเทศอื่นเลยดีกว่า
The agency issued a report last year stating that on average, agriculture industry workers are paid only 70% of what they're owed. Compounding the problem, intentionally vague contracts don't specify job locations, employer name, or work duties to be performed.
All of their labor rights are being violated, but in some places that we've been, it's been even worse.
Like here, 16 workers living in a slum outside the city of Ashkelon. Living quarters flood in rainy winters, shorting out electricity and heaters. In summer, they become virtual ovens, forcing workers to seek relief outside in the open air on stifling nights. Farm workers aren't the only ones getting a raw deal. These are Israel's caregivers. They number approximately 60,000 and come from Sri Lanka, India, the Philippines, and Moldova. Tasked with caring for Israel's seniors in their quote-unquote twilight years, caretakers live with their dependents and are on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. which, according to Israel's work versus rest labor laws, is illegal. Those laws stipulate that for every 45-hour work week, a person gets at least 24 hours off. Most are also not getting health and social security benefits, paid holidays, or sick pay. And nearly all shell out an average $10,000 per person in illegal fees to Israeli and country of origin brokers who arrange visas and employment for them in Israel. On average, it takes 2 years to pay off brokerage fees fronted by families back home who take loans, mortgage homes, and borrow money, leaving the loved ones in debt until the fees are paid off. Volunteer caseworkers like this one spend hours on the phone each day trying to track down employers who owe workers money.
Okay, let me call him. He does not. He told me that if you are going to the agency again, don't call me anymore. Okay, but I will call him and explain to him that we would take to court if he is not paying. We are talking about more than 30,000 shekels. Yes.
If there's a minimum wage law, you need to pay minimum wage. If you're supposed to pay social rights or medical care, you need to give that. And we've encountered many workers who are not getting these rights and get a bad deal.
In filing this report, I spoke with officials from Israel's Interior Ministry and 5 different broker agents to get their on-camera responses to the claims cited in this report. No one agreed to be interviewed. The Workers' Hotline, backed by influential human rights bodies, continues advocating for the rights of Israel's foreign workers.
Number 14.
I working there, I get some money.
But it all boils down to enforcing and following labor laws that already exist, which, at this point, does not seem to happen. For Assignment Asia, this is Stephanie Fried in Central Israel.
In September 2015, the Workers' Hotline filed a $25 million class suit against Israel's biggest industrial agriculture company. The corporation was accused of circumventing restrictions and fees by luring foreign nationals into farm work under the guise of work and study programs. Coming up on Assignment Asia, the story of Hong Kong's foreign domestic helpers, told through the lens of one of their own. Hundreds of thousands of foreigners work in Hong Kong as household helpers. They left their own homes to serve and care for others, sometimes under abusive employers. But one of them has a different story. Barnaby Lowe travelled to Hong Kong to meet a domestic worker who found her calling in photography, landed a prestigious scholarship because of that, and used it to tell the stories of her fellow migrants.
I came from a province, a village, so it's very different from where I came from. I'm really amused with the light, the people, the vibe of the city. It's amazing. You know, Hong Kong is very crowded. It's always filled with people. So, in a way, my black and white photographs tend to tone down all this noise, all this, craziness on the street, and it focuses more on the person and what's happening within her.
It was this ability to tame the beast, so to speak, that had the world of photography turning its focus on 29-year-old Siza Cruz Bakani. Sooner than she can realize, her photos of Hong Kong streets had already landed on the pages of the New York Times, after US-based Filipino photographer Rick Rocamora found them on Facebook.
It's a shock when everyone was like, oh, a Filipino is in New York Times, blah, blah, blah. What's the big deal? And then they told me that it's New York Times. Every photographer wants to be New York Times.
Since then, life couldn't be more different for Siza. She was 19 when she first arrived in Hong Kong. Like many Filipinos here, and like her mother, she came to work as a domestic helper. She dropped out of college and took the job because her family needed more support. But she says she never felt burdened by it.
It's a moral job. I can eat 3 times a day. My salary is good. My boss is awesome. So it's a job.
But art was something she always had a fondness for.
I started when 2009, I think. I asked my mother if I can buy a camera. And she told me, this is her exact words actually, cameras are only for rich people. Photography is only for rich people. And I understand her because a camera back then cost around 12,000 Hong Kong dollar, and that's like 3 months' salary. Yeah. But then I'm stubborn, so I asked my boss, like, can I borrow some money? Because I want to buy a camera.
The answer was yes, and the rest, as they say, is history. After catching the world's attention with photos of Hong Kong, the Magnum Foundation selected her to become one of its fellows under a scholarship program in New York University. Now she travels the world doing what she loves.
You've been to New York, you've been to Abu Dhabi, Geneva, I think, all these different places. Is this still your favorite city?
Yes, because my mom is still here. I think wherever my family is, that's where my heart is.
Close to her heart is also how she describes the issues she's documented so far. In the United States, she tackled human trafficking. Back in Hong Kong, she spent time with abused domestic workers.
In many ways, foreign domestic workers here in Hong Kong are better off than those working in the Middle East, for instance. They get certain benefits here, like a minimum wage of about 4,000 Hong Kong dollars. They also get health insurance and they get days off. As you can see, they're enjoying their day here.
Not everything is what it seems, however. Not everyone can find employers like Siza's. Some of the most unfortunate ones end up here at the Bethune House, which has, for 30 years, been home to abused migrant workers. 37-year-old Annalyn Ningala, who's from the Philippines, ended up here after her employer allegedly cursed her, took her by the arm and dragged her before hitting her with a bucket. She didn't think twice about leaving and reporting the incident to police.
What if pinalampas ko yun, hindi ako nag-report, kinabukasan, pinatay niya ako, wala na akong laban. At least, sa sarili ko, nagawa ko yung part ko. Na hindi man ako nanalo sa kaso, naipakita ko sa kanya na hindi lahat ng katulong is tanga.
Despite what she went through, Annalyn is still here, waiting, until she can find another job in another household.
Kung ang Pilipinas lang ay may sapat na trabaho para sa ating lahat, di ba hindi na kami mangingibang bansa? Hindi naman pare-parehas ang tao, lalo ng amo. So, who knows na yung magiging amo ko ngayon is much better kaysa sa nakaraan.
It's something Indonesian domestic worker Tati isn't willing to gamble anymore. The memory of her ordeal is etched on her skin. Still burning, still aching.
Katanya isi 1 kantong barang, di mana 1 kantong barang, isinya saya nggak tahu, katanya isinya sing apa, emas apa gitu. Terus bobo, jangan tanya saya, tanya anakmu, siapa lagi, anakku sudah kaya, sudah punya semua, pasti kamu, siapa lagi nggak kamu. Sudahlah, jangan marah kayak gitu, nanti aja kalau apa namanya anakmu pulang aku tanya ya. Sudah, kamu nggak banyak bicara, kerat. Aku nggak bisa nolak, dia dipegang. Langsung gini mah, habis itu tak pegang, kamu kok begini, saya tak taruh di luar, aku enggak tak taruh di luar, dia kan takut dia tambah jatuh, aku tambah ada masalah toh.
It wasn't the first time the old lady she was looking after hurt her, she says. She went to the police, but eventually settled the case with her employer.
Jadi karena usia nenek kayak gitu, ya toh, majikan saya mau biayai sepenuhnya kayak obat-obat ini semua gitu, mau dipulangin aja gitu. Kalau menurut aku sama dia ya wis sudahlah, aku nggak mau sampai ke dalam kayak gini gitu loh.
It's one of the reasons she's tasked us not to reveal her identity. She didn't want her family back home to worry about her. Because perhaps the most painful part of working away from home isn't something the eyes can see.
Rasanya takut kehilangan anak saya gimana kalau terjadi apa-apa. Tapi kalau aku pulang nggak kerja, gimana anakku gak sekolah, saya melihat malah lebih menderita.
It must be hard for him as well.
Anak saya juga menderita. Anak saya juga seperti aku, gimana aku ini mau kemana ya, ikut kayak dijaga orang itu nggak sebebas seperti dijaga mama gitu. Maksudnya makan aku ngasih saudaraku segini.
It's something Saiza knows all too well, being the eldest daughter of a migrant worker before becoming one herself.
It's hard to grow up without your mother. I mean, without one of your parents. I'm the eldest, so I need to grow up fast because I need to take care of my siblings.
And then upon seeing your mom,
there's huge adjustment. And we've been through that stage. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me, even though you're my mom, I'm your daughter. We don't really know each other because she left when I was 8 years old, I think, or 7.
They eventually got to know each other, and Saiza finally understood what it means to be a migrant worker. It's no wonder then that this early in her career, photojournalism took her to Bethune House, where she spent a year following, photographing, and getting to know them.
And what did you learn from the women here, from the women you photographed here?
I've learned that everyone is the same. We all have dreams, we all have hopes. We all feel sad, we all feel happy. And actually, I feel really, really proud of these girls because I don't see them as victims, I see them as survivors. If you see them laughing, I mean, it's amazing.
Amazing is how the project turned out. Just before 2015 ended, Saiza unveiled the photos in a solo exhibit in Hong Kong. Among the crowd on opening night, diplomats, academics, students, social workers, and the women of Bethune House.
So what do you think needs to change after doing this documentary?
I think the system should change. I know that we cannot change that tomorrow, but slowly, you know, we plant these seeds of awareness to people, especially the younger ones. Slowly we change how they look at domestic workers, you know. Treat domestic workers as workers and as human beings.
For Simon Asia, I'm Barnaby Lowe in Hong Kong.
Now a full-time freelance photographer, Saiza Bakani, travels from the Philippines to Hong Kong and back quite often. She says her campaign to highlight the plight of migrant workers through pictures has only just begun. To find out more about this and all the stories on today's programme, visit our website www.assignment-asia.com. That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Martin Lowe. Thanks for watching and join us again on Assignment Asia. Share your thoughts and contribute story ideas for future shows by contacting us on social media.